first of all, turn the Hubble round and show us Earth in real time, zooming in onto a place so that we can see what's happening at that place, and we know that there is something up there looking down on us from space. But they will not do it. They can't do it. It can't. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist. Pretty much everything NASA puts out is fraudulent.
Olvídalo, Bart. Hay tanta luz afuera que no puedes ver nada en el cielo excepto el satélite de Fox.
Some of NASA's latest space dreams came crashing down in central Australia today. A giant helium balloon packed with expensive scientific instruments lost its moorings in high wind.
Tomamos los datos y hacemos una imagen completa. Después quitamos las nubes, pintamos en azul el océano y donde está más abajo los pintamos en verde brillante. Después volvemos a poner las nubes y donde haya una pequeña fisura entre las órbitas la pintamos. Sí, claro, es Photoshop, pero tiene que serlo. Luego simulamos la atmósfera y al final añadimos un efecto de luz brillante para obtener el reflejo del sol sobre el mar. Es un mosaico muy verosímil. Yo no soy un astronauta, nunca fui al espacio, pero intenté sacar la esencia de la Tierra de estas fotos. Sí, claro, es Photoshop, pero tiene que serlo.
Nobody has actually really gone all the way across Antarctica. Yeah. Now there are millionaires out there who could, you know, assemble the resources to make an expedition and completely, you know, go across and chart Antarctica and make a name for themselves, being the first person to do that. Yeah. But nobody ever does. If a pilot is flying around the curve of the Earth, then he should be dipping the nose down. Every 5 minutes he should be dipping the nose down to stay around the curve. But the thing that really got me interested was, as you say, the gyroscope. In a plane there is an artificial horizon, okay, and it's based on a gyroscope. And if you spin a gyroscope on a surface, it will want to stay upright. You can twist and tilt the surface as much as you like. The gyroscope will stay upright. So if a plane has a gyroscope and it starts following the curve of the Earth, the gyroscope would stay upright, which means the artificial horizon will start to roll backwards. But it doesn't. That's absolute proof that a plane flies over a flat surface rather than a curved one. Because I asked the pilot on my last flight, you know, do you ever notice the artificial horizon rolling backwards? He said, no, but the artificial horizon has complex electronics in it to make sure it knows where it is on the Earth and it compensates. But I went to the manufacturer of the artificial horizon and they confirmed to me that it's completely mechanical, nothing electronic in it whatsoever. So it's literally just a gyroscope that can freely move. So that right there is proof to me that you know, planes fly over a plane. Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's a leading astronomer in America, tells us that the Earth is not a perfect circle.
But not only that, a little chubbier. It's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator. So it turns out the pear-shaped, a good word. It's like pear-shaped. Is so big like pear-shaped. Is so big like pear-shaped. Is so bigger.
Last time, flatline.
Pues que si pudiera suponer que el universo es plano, y cada vez hay más datos astronómicos que demuestran que es más bien plano.
What you find is that they create a universe that is perfectly flat. Flat.
It is actually an oblate spheroid. It's squashed and wider at the equator. Yeah. So.
Znači stesnet je na polovite, a širok je na ekvatoru.
Exactly. So my question to him would be, why is there land at the equator? Because water will move more readily than rock. So if the Earth is spinning, the water will be collected at the equator. I mean, if you spin a wet tennis ball, the water shoots off at the equator, essentially. So all the water will be gathered around the equator. So why is there land at the equator? Doesn't make any sense. And it seems that nobody's ever on the space shuttle. And the proof of that is the Challenger disaster. In, I believe it's 1986, the Challenger exploded just after takeoff and killed 7 astronauts. But it turns out that 6 of the astronauts are still alive, and most of them are using their original names. And you can find pictures of them. They're using the same names, and they're doing ordinary jobs now. Teachers, lecturers, lawyers, whatever. But they're still alive. And you can see whenever the space shuttle lands, you can hear it. It's a loud jet engine. That's it. It's not a glider. In my video, I show you a glider, how that seems, and then I'll show you the space shuttle. And yeah, it's not a glider. It's an aircraft. And that's what they're fooling us. They're taking billions of dollars in and giving us images and fake planes for that 10 billion, you know, however many billions of dollars it is.
Cuando uno va al Swedish Space y busca, o casualidad, todo casualidad que vamos a ver acá, pero cuando uno viene Mission and Projects y uno va a Rockets and Balloon, fíjense que está puesto en la misma categoría, y va, acá hay varios de los Rocket Sounding, de Rockets, le dice Rocket Missions. Pero cuando uno va completo, empieza a ver que hay muchos Balloon Missions. Hay muchas páginas de Balloon Missions. Muchas. NASA subcontrata. Cuando uno descarga, ¿sí?, el Balloon Launch List de Swedish Space Scape, ¿sí?, vamos a bajarlo de acá directamente, puede empezar a ver que estos son todos balloons. ¿Bien? Cuando uno busca, uno puede encontrar de golpe como que la Mir de golpe pareciera ser un balón. Los ELISA, cuando uno los busca, comienza a encontrarlos en la planificación de globos. ELISA 2. ELISA nuevamente. De los Envisat. ¿Sí? O sea, acá están todos. Todos. Son globos, gente. No son satélites. Son globos. Son globos. ¿Sí? Son otras tecnologías combinadas. Son un network. Que uno puede fácilmente darse cuenta cómo nos versean, porque esos movimientos erráticos que se ven muchas veces en satélites desde tierra, cuando uno ve satélites desde tierra, que algunos van en línea recta, pero otros tienen como una especie extraña de movimiento medio raro, es porque existe una franja que se llama el jet stream. El jet stream, que ustedes ven acá, eso. No es blue beam, no es nada por el estilo. Está relacionado a los movimientos de viento que hay en el mundo, que no es así, porque un avión no va haciendo esto. ¿Bien? Pero el jet stream es utilizado y es detectado por un montón de vehículos que viajan en el aire, que lo que hacen es aprovechar eso para ir más rápido. Por ejemplo, este 777, a través de esta línea de viento, rompió un récord de tiempo en llegada. Es una noticia, 745 millas por hora. O sea, un Concorde retirado justamente del British Airways, alcanzaba los 761 millas por hora.
Showing that it arrived an hour and a half before schedule. This also not only cuts the journey time down, but saves on fuel.
O sea, les ahorra combustible, también por eso lo utilizan.
But thought it was interesting here,
Interesante, exactamente, maestro.
as these planes are riding the jet stream, getting pretty dang fast up
O sea,
there.
ellos conocen todo el tema del windstream, como les venía diciendo, inclusive aparece en algunas noticias, ¿sí? O sea,
Today's question that you sent in involves the jet stream. So, Dirk, what's the question?
acá están los jetstream y las noticias también.
Well, the question comes from Shelby from Newcastle, and her question is, it's a simple one. It's
Viene desde Newcastle y es muy sencilla.
just why is a jet stream called the jet stream?
¿Por qué un jetstream se llama
So
jetstream?
the simple answer is it's a stream of air that
Es una línea de viento,
It's moving
de aire,
faster than
que
the
se mueve más rápido que el aire que lo rodea.
surrounding air. But of course, we're not going to leave it at that. We have
Pero
a
no
lot
lo
more
vamos a
to talk
dejar ahí,
about as
tenemos
far as
más
the jet
para
stream is concerned
contarles.
because it's an important feature with our weather
Es algo importante cuando se refiere
that we
al
have. Now,
clima.
there's a definition: a fast-flowing current of air
Acá hay una
located anywhere
definición rápida, ¿no?
from 5 to 7 miles above the surface of the Earth. That's the jet stream
Más o
that we
menos.
have, again, over us. It can be upwards of, a mile to 3 miles thick. The jet stream itself, it can run anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 miles. You can see that aircraft love to find the jet stream because that just adds to their ability to go get there faster and, of course, use less fuel.
Obviamente
Jet stream.
esto es lo que se
But mainly
utiliza,
it's the polar jet stream that we're
¿no es cierto? Esto que acá te lo muestran así, nosotros sabemos, eso no es tan así, ¿eh? Eso también tiene que ver con un modelo de una Tierra plana. Lógicamente puede ser mapeado en un planiferio, ¿no? Porque no es simplemente que tenga que ser sí o sí esférica la Tierra. O bueno, o lo podemos reproducir en un... esto es una proyección, ¿sí? La equidistante. Equidistante en realidad significa que la distorsión que hay ahí es igual a cuando se ve bien. Esta clase de grilla en el cual se deforma, en realidad está compensando, por eso se llama equidistante. Y acá empiezan a explicar, y ahí es donde viajan, y es por este motivo que nosotros encontramos movimientos erráticos en un montón de satélites. Incluso acá es donde entra en juego nuevamente el plan B. Siempre que veamos esto, nos van a contar de que es un avistamiento ovni, ¿sí? Por ejemplo, acá vemos, ¿no? Cómo aparecen esos puntitos ahí. Ahora, fíjense, ¿por qué se piensan que van a la misma velocidad? ¿Porque se pusieron todos de acuerdo? No, van a la misma velocidad y van en esta franja porque cuando se lanzan estos globos se coordinan y van en la misma velocidad porque van por el mismo jet stream. ¿Bien? Se ve en rojo porque está en un atardecer, pero les puedo poner otro que también saqué de todos estos que se hablan de ovnis, los Skywatch Sessions, y acá se ve, ¿no? Otro más que sube, va por un jet stream. No es que está subiendo, la persona está en el cenit, básicamente está muy por debajo de donde le está pasando. Acá lo acelera. ¿Por qué lo acelera la persona? Porque muestra el recorrido que está haciendo. Ahí viene otro manteniendo la misma línea, la misma distancia, y lo acelera porque está podrido, y si fuese un ovni o un satélite estaría viajando muy despacio. Entonces lo acelera como para ponerle un poquito de onda al video, porque si no la gente se le queda dormida. Dura 13 minutos, imagínense. Acá vemos otro que van a ir en la misma órbita para terminar chocando en algún momento, tal vez. Y uy, ahí le pasó a este, guarda, guarda. Acá vemos otro, este que puede ser claramente, fíjense que cuando hace zoom, se parece a uno de esos globos de alta presurización, tipo ovoide, ovalado. Y acá cuando hace un zoom out, justo viene un avión, por el jet stream. No todo eso es chemtrail. Bueno, ya lo hablamos, ¿no? Pero viene por un jet stream. Estos son los satélites, muchachos. A esa altura, por eso se puede ver a simple vista cuando no está en el campo. El resto lo hace la mente. La imaginación de la mente es la que produce que esto pareciera tener, cuando uno está viendo un punto blanco, que supuestamente tiene los paneles solares y supuestamente tiene la cámara y supuestamente tiene esa forma que tienen los satélites, básicamente. Por eso es tan importante conocer todos estos temas, porque bueno, ahí pueden verse cómo va justamente por ese jet stream. Entender que la Tierra no es esférica abre las claves a muchas cosas y te saca justamente de un montón. Bien algo, o sea, para la gente común existen globos con una presurización, pero para gente que está en todo esto y que saben que hay que mantener ocultos ciertas verdades, existe otro tipo de hecho, existe un método, estos, ¿sí? Acá lo podemos ver, acá van los zero pressure balloon a esta altitud, pero acá van los super pressure balloon. ¿Por qué? Porque hay un método, obviamente es el método que se vende en lo que es satelital, que es un super pressure balloon, para que no reviente como revientan los que muchas veces se ven en las cámaras de altitud. ¿Y a ustedes no les parece raro, para la gente que todavía piensa que existe satélite, no les parece raro que se construya o sea, el mismo aparato que nos promocionan en construcción satelital para enviar al espacio, el mismo aparato, del mismo tamaño, con los mismos paneles solares, que se cuelguen y se tiren en globo, por grúa? ¿No les llama la atención que sea el mismo? ¿No les llama la atención? ¿Tan dormido se puede estar? Cuando uno puede ver el negocio que hay por detrás con toda esta millonada de estafa que hacen.
It's easy. If everybody's been trained into believing that this is real, right, and there's space, and it's within our interests to explore space and you know, go to the moon, go to Mars, yeah, people will pay for it, and they're making billions. And yeah, there's more to it, because I believe there's a big deception coming. And it's to do with aliens, because people believe there are aliens out there. So they've prepared us for an alien invasion or an alien saviour. And I think the flat Earth came along at the right moment to educate people, to make people believe or understand that we've been lied to. And if you know, as I know in my heart now, that is real and this isn't, I will not be fooled by aliens coming, because there are no aliens. There's no space. Yeah, it's all fantasy by Disney and NASA. Well, the Bible has a very, very clear view of what this place is, and it matches that place more than it matches this. Okay, and what it says is the great deep is under it, just water. It's just deep water, and above the firmament is water. And you know, it says in Genesis that he separated the water below from the water above, and made a space, and then made dry land appear out of the water. So what's under the flat Earth? Well, it's water, and it just goes on. Again, I don't know for sure, because I've not been under there. I don't know what's past the outside of, or the you know, the first few hundred miles of Antarctica. But everything I've seen over the last year and a half tells me that is true and this isn't. And I'm starting to believe and trust my intuition about this world is very different from what most people think it is. There are very powerful people who essentially rule this world right now. And the ordinary person is a slave in this world. And slaves aren't educated. You know, they're taught what they need to, or, you know, they need to know, that's it. They're not taught truth, they're taught what they need to know. And so you're taught enough so that you can, you know, do the paperwork and operate the machinery, but you're not meant to know what's really going on, because that's the power they have over us. They know what's going on, what, you know, how this world works. We don't, so they can control us. In my opinion, that the Big Bang theory and the theory of evolution and the ball Earth theory are all interlinked, and they're all there to make us feel as though we're insignificant. We're small, tiny,
miniature,
unimportant pieces of slime crawling around on a speck of dust in an infinite universe. If that's true, and there's no purpose, there's no meaning to anything, then our owners can do whatever they want with us. Then, you know, this is all accidental, so food can be genetically modified because it's imperfect. You know, we can be modified because we're imperfect. You know, if we realise that this is the universe, and
complete universe.
Yes, this system is is everything. Everything that NASA has put out is CGI, is fake. Okay, you know, people say, I think you mentioned it. You know, if you look out into the universe, you see that the moon is round, you know, spherical, and the planets are spherical, and so why are we flat? This is special, you know. So why? It's like saying a basketball is round, so why isn't the court round? You know, it's a fallacy. So this idea of a ball Earth, theory of evolution, the Big Bang, is all about making us feel nothing, so that we can be used. If everybody realised how special we all are, how unique every single life is, then this whole world will change overnight. So if we all realise that, then we wouldn't allow all these things that are going on. It's all about control. There are a small group of people who want to control the world. And because there's so many of us out there, you know, they can't control us directly. They can't, you know, this small group of people can't, you know, come round to all of us and control us directly. So they must use our own minds, our own hearts and minds against ourselves. And this is what they've done. They've educated us into this world, into this globe spinning, you know, heliocentric Big Bang evolution world, which makes us nothing. This is what I think. It's the truth, and we recognise the truth when we hear it, and you know, we feel it, and this I believe has come at the exact right time.
point in the future, we're going to look back and say, how did we do it without space?